Alright, so the guys are working their way over there with the holes for the ice maker water line. We'll let them get finished up over there. Alright, so we've got our hot and cold water line in here for our new sink. We're just about to start running our PEX through the wall now to make our way down to the ice maker box. And guys, this is as real as it gets. You know, I mean, I say that in a lot of my videos, but you know, this is reality TV on steroids because, you know, we're not cutting out the good stuff. We're showing you everything in between. And some of this might be boring, and some of this stuff that we're talking about you may not need to do. But hey, I want to cover every aspect of remodeling a kitchen, and the only way I can do that is to bring the camera onto my job sites, into my clients' homes, and show you exactly what we're doing, and then you can take it from there. You know, use what you need, what you don't need, you can watch or fast forward through, but I mean, I'm trying to show you every aspect, every situation that you may run into so that you're totally armed with what you need, the knowledge that you need to really do your kitchen. You know, there's a difference between watching a video that's step by step and on the job like this and reading some book, some Time Life plumbing book that isn't going to show you what it really takes to do it. And that's why I created these video series, because I want you to see exactly what you're up against and exactly how to solve these problems step by step on an actual job.
Get me a little piece of wood in here that I know I'm getting a piece of wood in here that I know once I bring my plumbing up, I can strap it to this at a 14-inch height.
Okay, so that's coming out at 14 inches for your drain line.
Yep, for my drain line.
All right, so what he did was he cut a block of wood over on the saw. He measured between these two 2x4s, and he's setting this block of wood in here at 14 inches.
That way I know that's right where I want to bring
he's gonna nail that in there with our nail gun in just a second to make it stationary, but he's gonna bring his drain line up and he's gonna strap it to that 2x4 to make it nice and firm so that it doesn't wiggle around on the wall. Alright? He's also gonna do the same thing for his hot and cold water line. He's gonna put another block in there to mount his hot and cold water line shutoffs as well. Alright, that's called blocking. And we put blocking in for our drain line and our water shutoffs.
Let's see.
Alright, so he's shooting on his blocking for his drain line, and he's also got another block somewhere around here. Here it is. Right here.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, just old scrap wood.
And I'll be putting that one in there at about 20 inches for his hot and cold water lines. Alright, the top one's for his hot and cold water lines to be connected to sturdy those up. The bottom one is for his drain line. So we're about ready here to show you some PEX fittings that we're going to be using for the hot and cold water setups. Right, so here goes our line through the wall for our cold water, for our ice maker.
Shutoffs. Where's the ears and the nipples and stuff?
It's in a bag.
Alright.
Alright, and they're feeding that cold water line through from where we're going to be tying in.
Go in front of all them wires. That'll help hold them back. Yep.
Right on through down here to where we're going to turn that 90 degrees. Now we're not sure if we're going to be able to bend the PEX around there. We might have to put what's called a 90-degree PEX fitting on there.
Just pull it out the whole length. Pull out an extra 5 feet right now. Yeah, so you got plenty. And then go ahead and see if you can 90 it on in there. Is that plenty to reach where we got to go? Turn and turn and turn. Looks like it, right? Yeah, better to have it not need it than need it not have it.
Alright, So he's bending that around the corner there, and he's sending it back into our other walls.
Did you notch that out on the inside there, Chris?
Yeah.
Oh, good job. Pull it out through your notch area all the way.
You can see how flexible these PEX lines are. If we can push them around corners, we just went around the 90-degree bend with that PEX.
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah, once that's done, then we're actually gonna go back. That works. You're definitely working there.
Now we got a notch out of that 2x4 that Tom's going to put one of those metal plates on that I just showed you.
Some back through.
Yeah, we'll cut it off over there.
And what that'll do is protect any nails coming through when we drywall.
I'm not pinching here. All right. They have this particular plate, which is exactly the width of a stud. Then our drywall will actually hold that in, when we, So that's basically it. They also have a plumbing plate, just in case we need it. It's a 4x6 that we could have put on here to give it even more protection, more security. 2 different sizes. They also have even a smaller one. This is a 3-inch. They actually have an 1.5-inch one. But these are the 2 that we prefer. It is a heavy gauge metal where you can't nail through this. It's not just a piece of aluminum or a piece of tin. These are certified for that, so the nails won't go through it.
Right.
You buy these once again at Home Depot. They have them in Home Depot and the Home Depots up here in the Pennsylvania area. The plumbing plates are actually by the decking strap.
Yep.
Wall hangers for decking, 2x6 joist hangers for decking, and the plumbing plates are in the decking section. But they do have them. Ask if you need them. But that's what you need whenever you have stuff like this going on.
Now nobody can hit that line when they screw into that stud with a drywall screw.
As you can see, they're old. This is the original plumbing right here. This is the original plumbing. They drilled through the center of the stud just like we did. All right. To code, we're to go back and put one of these on every one of these so nobody can nail into any one of these lines. So we'll actually be going back and putting on a plumbing, we'll actually be putting one of these straps on each and every one of these areas where the water pipes go across the wall. So there's no way anybody can pierce into our water line.
Cool.
But that we can do at a later time.
Okay, so now we've got our PEX lines, hot and cold water lines over to our sink, and we've successfully run our cold water line only down to our ice maker box down here behind our refrigerator. All right, now we're getting ready to start making some PEX fitting connections on the ends of these PEX lines, okay? Tom's going to show us a couple of the fittings that we're going to be using.
Yeah. What we have here is we have an angle up shut off male thread.
Okay.
1/2-inch male thread. This is our PEX fitting right here that we're going to be using at the end of this line. This line will come up. This PEX fitting will go onto here and get crimped on with the ring. We're going to show you that in a minute. This is going to get strapped right to the wall, 3 drywall screws. Once we have that done and this crimped on, we're going to put Teflon tape. I'm just explaining what we're going to be doing. We're going to be putting Teflon tape on this nipple, screwing it into here. In the future, we're going to have a shut-off on here to connect for our sink supply.
Right.
But in the meantime, we're going to Teflon tape and put a cap on here.
Just to keep the water lines
pressure lines, and until we get our drywall and our cabinet in.
Okay.
This is actually a 3-inch chrome nipple, and we'll actually be putting an angle up chrome shut-off on here.
Right. And what size was the cap that was just on there, Tom? Was that a 1/2-inch cap?
Yep, a 1/2-inch. These are shower ears, drop ears we call them. 1/2-inch female drop ears. A female is the part with the hole. A male, this is a female shut-off and a female drop ear. We're actually putting a male coupling nipple in between. The male is the part with the threads where the threads stick out. The female is where you thread into. And just in case you want to act like you know what you're talking about when you go into Home Depot and ask for these fittings.
That's a female drop L.
Drop ear, because it has the mounting flanges onto it. 1/2-inch female drop ear.
Okay, drop ear.
Yep.
All right, so this is an important PEX fitting right here. This is what you're going to use for your hot and cold water lines to secure your PEX line to your 2x4 and to connect your 1/2-inch PEX to the bottom. And as Tom just showed you, these just push right inside the line here.
After
Tom,
we
pull
put our
that out of
ring
there
on
once
there.
and push that in there.
Yep.
So you can see what the end of that fitting looks like.
Yep, it just has three like ridges on it. Before you can put this on there, you gotta have a PEX tool to be using PEX.
All right, that's the PEX.
That's the PEX tool.
That's a crimping tool, and that'll do either 3/4-inch PEX or 1/2-inch PEX. And
Yep.
you show them the end of that, Tom. They can see the 1/2-inch hole.
And the
And the 3/4-inch
hole.
hole.
Yep, the
All
top
right.
one is for your 1/2-inch, the bottom one is for 3/4.
Now they're about $60 for a pair of those guys. I mean,
Yep.
but just think of the money you're saving having a plumber and not have to do your kitchen. You can afford to buy the right tools. So buy yourself some PEX crimping tools and keep them in your toolbox.
Okay. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna put this out. Whenever you do a PEX ring, you buy a bag of these 1/2-inch PEX rings.
All right, you see that it says on there, 1/2-inch. Now these are made by SharkBite. Home Depot carries SharkBite PEX equipment, and they're 1/2-inch rings. Show them one, Tom.
Yep, that's just a ring. This is the actual ring. You slide the ring on first, then you slide your shed off on, or your
drop ear.
yeah, your drop ear on. You take and you put this without moving your ring. You want to keep that ring where there's like an 1/8 inch of white showing past it. So I'll get that exactly where I want to be, and then one squeeze of this tool, and that's done. That's
Okay.
crimped.
Now that fitting is watertight. That 1/2-inch jaw of life that he just put around there and squeezed around that black ring crimped that PEX tubing onto the end of this copper drop ear. All right.
I guess it's crimping.
This is a
So
completely
we gotta cut it
pressurized,
behind it?
watertight seal that quick. We didn't need a soldering gun. We didn't need
That'd be
a
my
flex. We didn't need a torch. We didn't need rosin or none of that old-fashioned plumbing stuff applies. All right. No fire, no heat, no
Johnny, can you hold this out
pain
for me?
and suffering. Just slip the
Either
plastic
crimp that
PEX
right there.
over top of your fitting, put the ring on there, and one squeeze.
Just show a little bit of 1/8 inch of that white. Wait a sec, wait a sec, wait a sec. Back here in there a little bit. Right there.
Put your 1/2-inch across there, across your ring, and squeeze one time. Done. That's it. All right. Now his hot and cold water lines both have the proper PEX fittings on the end. Now what he's going to do next, he's going to take some drywall screws and a cordless drill,
Yep.
and he's going to secure those to the 2x4 blocking that he just put in there. Okay, so once you have your PEX fitting attached to the end of your hot and cold water line, and remember these are PEX fitting drop ears with 1/2-inch female threads inside them. We're going to be using some drywall screws. All right, and that secures the fitting nice and tight so you can't move it to the 2x4 blocking.
Okay, that's good.
Okay, now you normally set these to the center of your drain line. You normally go 4 to 5 inches left and right to your drain line location. So they'll end up being 8 to 10 inches apart.
Yeah. And you try to keep them at the same height.
Keep them at the same height off the floor, 20 inches. All right.
And they look really close.
All right, and now they're in position for the hot and cold water lines to be hooked up once we set our kitchen sink base.
I'm just going to bump this one up just a tad to get it the exact same height. It's not rocket science here. That looks more like the same height.
And there you go. All right, now those plastic PEX lines they're watertight to those fittings. All right, you can pressurize the water in these now, and that will not leak at either one of those locations. Those PEX rings make the toughest pressure connection of any plumbing fittings out there.
We have a hammer.
All right, so that's it.
We got these talons, PEX talons, just to hold the PEX exactly where you want it to be. These talons, it's just a little plastic talon that goes around there and helps hold it on. Clips onto your plumbing, your PEX line.
Preset nail, tap them on.
Done.
See how nice that secures your line then.
Yep.
Snap them on. They're 1/2-inch PEX talons.
Yep.
Preset nail, tap it on. That's it.
Well, hey, Mr. Policeman, bet I can drive faster than you can.